We're recording? We're recording. All right, so meal planning webinar. I'm excited. I really need to dive into my nutrition next week when we start our workouts. So this will be gearing us up for our whole entire week. We will go through this every single Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to pick a day, but we're going to have a little webinar every week so that we can get used to, prepare ourselves for the following week ahead, because nutrition is 80% of your results. I'm going to tell you that right now. You can work out every single day, but if you are eating crap food, you're not going to get results. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go through what is called a meal planning hub. My coach, Liesl, took a lot of time and created this hub for everybody, and I have been utilizing it for a pretty long time now, and it has given me great resources, and she just keeps adding stuff in there. We can add stuff in there too as well, and this is where I get basically all my meal prep resources. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through what we should have in a day's worth of food, and then how do we plan and prep that day's worth of food and put it into a week and implement it into our lifestyles. So let's share. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. I'll get this up. My computer runs really slow when I'm doing Zoom and trying to do this, so bear with me. But this is the meal planning hub. I don't know why this won't go away, but it won't. Okay, so this is the meal planning hub. I'm going to post the link so everybody has this, but this is all of your resources of meal plans, meal planners, each group that has a different meal plan, like 21-day fix is different than 80-day obsession. 80-day obsession is different than quarter fourth. There's Shakeology, there's tips and tricks, there's eating out, there's all kinds of stuff in here. The recipe book that we use for Shakeology, the fridge food that you should have already printed out and have on your fridge, and all these great resources that you can use. So let's talk about what we should have. Oh, there we go. Okay, so here is what we should have as far as container-wise in our breakfast, okay? What I learned from To Be Mindset, it's a whole nutritional program. You don't have to work out during this program, but she teaches you all about nutrition, and it's amazing, and I went through the whole program, and it has really given me a lot of nutritional information that I can implement into as I'm working out. So breakfast, the number one thing, make it consistent. I struggle so much whenever I am not consistent. If I'm trying to do too many things at once in a week and cook tons and tons of meals, it doesn't work out. There's days where something comes up and you're lazy, you're busy, you're tired, whatever it may be, schedules didn't go as planned, and you just don't have the want, will, or, the time to do this crazy meal that you say you wanted to have, but you didn't plan for it, okay? So if you make it consistent, which I will show you this, we're going to plan out a meal together, or our week together. So when you make it consistent, it's very simple, which leads into number 2. Make it simple. Most of you, some of you, I shouldn't say most, are moms. And if you're not, you're either a nanny, or you work full-time, or you have a husband, and just it gets overcomplicated when you overcomplicate it, plain and simple. So make it simple. And you want to make sure that it's filling. In the morning, you need 50% of protein to help keep you full, and then you want 50% of carbs, which are found in both grains and fruit. They call them complex carbs versus simple carbs, okay? It gives you lasting energy, and it really, really, really will keep you full until lunch. Breakfast, they always say, is the most important part of the day, and it is. Now, my breakfast will simply be the Shakeology. So unfortunately, I do not get this carb serving in the morning, but if I am lacking energy, I will have a carb serving, you know, like a piece of toast or something if I'm extra tired in the morning. So that's always something that you can, you know, keep in the back of your mind, because when we do our portion containers and everything like that, the reason I say make it simple is because you want to have an idea of the containers that you need and just be able to go and grab something that is worth that container, like a piece of toast, okay? Or you add a banana, half a banana in with your Shakeology, which is a red and a purple, okay? Which we're going to go over all of that. So these are just all the questions. We can answer them all at the end, or you can just pop them in the chat bar and I can answer them, again, all at the end and just, you know, go through everything. As far as lunch, you want to make sure that you have stuff that is easy to pack and easy to prep, because what I like to do is my dinner the night before, I would like to have it as a lunch, but in a different way. So like if I have chicken fried rice, okay, and I always make cauliflower rice. I don't use rice anymore, really, but if I have chicken fried rice, the next day I will use that chicken and maybe put it in a wrap, okay, because I don't mix all my stuff together. The way my family is my daughter, she's very picky. She can't have her food touching. So when I make chicken fried rice, she's kind of okay with cauliflower rice, but she's not all the way there. So I'll mix in cauliflower rice with her rice and then put the chicken on the side. And the peas and the carrots and everything are mixed in with the rice. But that's like the only thing she'll have mixed. But the chicken is on the side. So for my chicken, I'll make like a crock pot chicken and have everything thrown together, or, you know, buy 2 rotisserie chickens from Giant Eagle and they last the whole week for meals. So those are a couple options for you. But for lunch, you know, just put it in with a wrap with some lettuce, some tomatoes, wrap it up with some carrots, maybe some hummus. You know, if you want to make it a salad, you have a salad option too. But to keep you full and energized in the afternoon, you need 25% of veggies, okay? So that's going to be in the wrap or a salad. 25% protein and 25% of healthy fat and carbs. And this, again, carbs give you energy. I know that everybody thinks that carbs is like a no-no, that, you know, you want to cut carbs, or, you know, there's just diets where it's carbless, and honestly, carbs give you energy. You need your carbs. So you want to make sure that you have a carb each meal, okay? These plates right here are for plan A. So if you went through your portion or your calorie intake, I think it's called, your calorie intake, what am I trying to say? Like measurements for your bracket of which meal plan you're going to be in. This is meal bracket plan A. That's what these plates are for. I always start with A, and then you can add containers throughout, okay? So that's for lunch. As far as your snack, you want to make sure that it is between lunch and dinner, and you want to pair a protein with a complex carb, which is a fruit. The starchy carbs is your yellow, like rice and grain and toast and everything like that. So for a snack, your snack, you want to make sure that you have a protein, high in protein, and then your complex carb, which is your fruit. As far as snacks, you know, there's tons of options. You can do hard-boiled eggs with an apple. That's simple, easy to pack, to pull out and eat. I also love the beach bars. Now that's considered a starchy carb and a protein, but it's half and half. So it's half protein, half carb, and that is more of I would say it's almost a complex carb, but it's not, because the beach bars doesn't have any sugar or any added carbohydrates than fibers. It has more fiber, so it's actually very good for you. So that's another option. But simple snacks, keep it simple. As far as dinner, you want to make sure that you stick with veggies and protein. Now this is where your carb. Now if you're in Plan B, you'll have a carb here. But if you're in Plan A and your goal is to mostly lose weight, you want to try to save your carbs for your morning, because that's when you need energy. Remember, carbs are energy. So when it comes dinner time, we don't really need the energy. So having your plate would be 75% of vegetables to get full, and then 25% to help stay full, because the motto we live is dinner and done. After you have dinner, be done. Because if you're sitting there and you're thinking about food, or if you have, containers left, you can say, oh, I could have this with this, or anything like that. And that's what could set you up to fail. Because I know when I get on the couch and comfy and watching TV or something, I'll start to want, just the mindset or something, or that urge to just snack. And that's why you say dinner and done. Okay, so most people don't need additional energy at night. There's no need to have carbs at dinner. Make sense? This is where you would get into the different brackets. If you're a bracket B, you just add 1 per veggie, fruit, and carb. Bracket C, 2, 1, 2, so on and so forth. You will know this by your meal plan and your bracket and which you fall into, and your portion sizes for your program that you're going to be working through. This is where you would have found your portion fix calculator. So this is where you would determine your target calorie needs, and then the container count at which bracket and plan you're supposed to be in. So if you weren't familiar with what I was just talking about, this is what I was talking about in your Plan A, your Plan B, your Plan C, your Plan D. And this is based off of you. This is different for every single person. You could be 150 pounds, but you have a different activity level or a different goal. Like as far as me, when I'm still looking to lose weight. So if I will fall into, like, say 1800 in Plan C, I'll bump down to Plan B. If I'm lacking energy or I'm feeling lethargic, then I will stay in Plan C. But it's based off of you, your needs, your feeling. If you're getting headaches, if you're tired, or if you're too full, everything like that. You got to base it off of your needs. And that, if you have trouble figuring that out, you can just, message me, reach out, let me know. We'll figure it out together. Don't try to just figure it out on your own, because it can be very, very confusing and very hard. Okay, let's see. All right, so what we're going to start is we're going to start our meal plan. How exciting. If my computer would load. All right. Let's load. There we go. Okay, so like I said, for my breakfast, I normally all Shakeology. I don't have time for breakfast in the morning anymore. Haley gets up earlier now, and it's just chaotic, and I like sleep, and I like to, I got into reading and diving into devotion, for my morning. So I used to just, like, relax and have a big old breakfast, but now I just stick it to my Shakeology. So remember the 3 tips. You want to make it consistent, simple, and stuff that's going to fill you up. So what you could do is you can go to your eRecipe Shakeology book, and you can pick one of these and just copy paste it. So I'm a coffee person, love coffee. So where are we at? Right here. It's gonna take forever. Okay, so there we go. Now, for me, since I am in a higher plan, I will add a cup of spinach, and you can't taste it. If you've never tried spinach in your Shakeology, please do. If you need a hidden veggie, if you're not that big of a veggie person, or you want to cut out, a veggie in one of your meals, if you have to fulfill a lot of containers, whatever, Put one in your shake and blend it, and you won't taste it. I promise. Okay, so I have my protein. Coffee doesn't really count as anything. It's black coffee. Spinach, that's my green container. And then I will add a half a banana, and then almond butter, which is a tablespoon. So that will be for every single day this week. Like I said, consistent. And typically whenever you first order your challenge pack, you typically go with 1 or 2 flavors. So you can mix this up. You can definitely throw in a vanilla Shakeology in here. So we'll like say maybe we'll switch it up a little bit and have a vanilla, oh, spelled that wrong. Vanilla Shakeology every other day. So that you're just switching it up. But like I said, if you just ordered your challenge pack, it's typically that you get 1 flavor, and if you got a couple flavors, you can just switch it up. Easy, simple, consistent. Okay, so now next thing I go to is dinner. I want to think about dinner because dinner at night, like I said, I will pull into my lunch the next day. So I always know that dinner on Tuesday will be some form of tacos. My favorite kind of taco that we've been doing and that Haley really likes is crock-pot tacos. So I can put crock-pot tacos right here. And for lunch the next day, I'm going to do a taco salad. I don't know why that's over there, but okay. So I also know that with those leftovers that there's going to be a couple more leftover than usual because it's just Haley and I. So I can probably have that for another, we can do another taco salad the next day because I'm going to have some leftover. And I buy a big container of spring mix so that I can just put what I do is I typically put my salads in a mason jar so they don't, it doesn't wilt as fast. And I can just put that spring mix in with that with all my toppings and throw it together, and that's perfect, a taco salad. So for Monday, typically meatloaf with, I always do mashed potatoes. Now for me, I will do cauliflower mashed potatoes. For Haley, I will do regular, I get the Bob Evans frozen mashed potatoes. So like the reason I say that my meals are kid-friendly meals is because I don't make separate things. If I do, it's one thing. For example, mashed potatoes. You can get a frozen bag of cauliflower mashed potatoes in the frozen section, throw it in the microwave and then throw in Haley's Bob Evans little microwavable mashed potatoes, and boom, dinner's done. And then we'll normally have like broccoli, or she likes the garden sweet peas or something like that for a vegetable. I can't spell it right. Okay. So you basically, I'm not going to go through the whole entire meal plan with you. It's kind of like a cooking show. You know, I'm going to give you this and then give you the finished product. But this is something that I would just go through, and a snack, like I said, hard-boiled eggs with maybe some carrots. I'm trying to think, a lunch. We can do, I normally have leftovers from Sunday, but what do I typically make? Oh, the rotisserie chicken. Okay, so Monday is typically grocery shopping day. So the rotisserie, we'll do a rotisserie chicken wrap. So kind of get the picture of how you just go through and you just plug in of where you can chicken wrap with, we'll say, celery and hummus. And there you go. And you're just plugging in of your foods each and every day. And like I said, dinners, you're going to go and you're going to make them a lunch. So here's another thing that I have for you. I have a pick and choose. Okay, so here's another way that you can go through your meal plan. Say you don't want, say it's just you. Maybe it's just you, and or maybe you and your husband, and you like to get a little fancy. Okay, so what you could do is you can go into the pick and choose menu and pick out these really fancy meals. I'm simple. It's just me and Haley, and she's picky, so I just base my eating off of her pretty much. But if you go into pick and choose, there are tons of recipes in here that you can just plug in into your meal plan and have to choose from. So let's do a meal plan off of this. So we know that I like Shakeology in the morning, but maybe you actually have time for a little breakfast. Okay, so you could do. Sorry guys, my computer is so slow when I'm running this Zoom call. But I'm trying. It will load. It's not loading. Oh, there we go. Okay. So maybe you like your Shakeology for a snack later. Maybe you get a certain craving in the afternoon and you just need that fast, chocolate, sweet, whatever, that you'd like to make. That's great. That's fine. Everybody is different. So say you like a parfait, a yogurt parfait in the morning. Okay. This could be Greek yogurt with berries, maybe a banana. Everybody's different. Everybody likes different food. But yeah, I know. You can do whatever you want, whatever fruit with a granola. So that's you're having your protein, you're having your fruit, and you're having your carb. So there's a perfect example for breakfast. And like we said, we want to keep it consistent. So we're going to have parfaits in the morning. And guys, if you have a little bit more time, on a morning, you're like, listen, I don't want a parfait. I can have 2 eggs, a cup of strawberries, and a mini bagel. Then go for it. It's the same container. So that's where I said you want to have your meal planned out so that you know the containers you're aiming for that time of day. So like breakfast, lunch, your snack and your dinner. So we have our parfaits, okay? So that's our breakfast. We have the fruit, the carb, and the protein. Again, tacos, we know, are on Tuesday. So let's go down and find a taco recipe, right? There's lunches. We need dinner. Dinners. Okay, so the salsa lime chicken. That's taco, right? Salsa. Quick, easy. We've got a crock pot. We love crock pots. So we're going to do our salsa lime chicken, right? And then what are we going to do for lunch the next day? We're going to have that chicken for a wrap or a salad because we know that lunch chicken, I don't know why it does that on that one, but okay. Because if we refer back to, pull it up, because I know some of you just hopped on, and I'm going to show you real quick. If it will load. I hope it's this one.
It's because I'm on and technology is not my friend today.
Kim,
it's all my fault. Just blame it on me.
No. All right, well, it's not there. So we're just going to pull it up. Okay, so well, maybe if I X some of these out. My computer is from like high school. That's how old it is. So that could be a problem too. But we'll say, you know, whatever. Okay, so we know, and there's mother. There we go. Okay, so we know for, like I said, breakfast, we have that protein, we have the carb, and we have the fruit. Lunch is our biggest, kind of biggest meal, okay? Because that's gonna hold you until dinner. I feel like lunch and dinner is the biggest gap, because if I think of my schedule, you know, breakfast is probably like 7, 8, 9. Lunch is probably 12 or 1. And then dinner isn't until sometimes 5, 6, or 7. That's a huge gap. So we want to make sure lunch is filling us up a lot. So we need that protein. We need the carb. We need the vegetable, the healthy fat, and the dressing. Okay, so that is just perfect for any type of salad. So you can do like the salsa lime chicken with, we'll go back to our meal plan, salsa lime chicken, wrap. We'll do a salad. Oh no, we'll do the wrap. I haven't been much into salad since it's been warmer or colder weather. That's a warm type of weather. But we'll do the chicken wrap, and that has, you know, your cheese in it. That has a dressing in it. It has your carb in it. It has vegetables in it. You can put lettuce, spinach, tomatoes, you know, banana peppers, whatever you like in it. And that can be for your lunch. And then we want to make sure, again, dinner, we have a snack, we have the protein and the fruit, and then we want to make sure dinner is mainly vegetables. Now, like I said in the beginning of the call, every plan is different, but carbs give you energy, and we do not need additional energy at night, so there's no reason to pretty much have carbs at dinner. So as you see here, we're just keep plugging in and plugging in, and then if you see how you go through a whole entire meal plan, and guys, listen, it doesn't take long if you keep it simple, if you keep it consistent, and you make sure that your dinner will carry into your lunch the next day, because I have wasted so much food by not having my dinner some sort of way for my lunch the next day. And it's horrible. I cannot stand wasting food, but I have picked up in these last few months. You're going to learn throughout this whole entire journey something new all the time. I promise you. Things change all the time. It's like technology, okay? Everything's coming out. Everything's new recipes. You know, the Beachbody blog shares tons and tons of new stuff all the time. So Pinterest is great to go to for recipes, all kind of clean eats and everything. So it's going to change. But for the most part, I have learned that it's so easy and simple. If you have dinner to be your lunch the next day a different way, it's different, but it's the same, and you're not wasting food, and it's consistent, and it's simple. So if you see, you know, we have the yogurt parfaits, and we have the salsa lime chicken, and we have the chicken on the wrap the next day. You can add a side salad, you know, your cheese is your topping. If your spinach or if your Shakeology is for your snack, and like I said before, I promise you that if you need to sneak in a veggie into your Shakeology, if you blend spinach, a cup of spinach in, you will not taste it at all. It is like, it's I don't know, it's like a miracle. But it's great to hide spinach in your Shakeology. It's amazing. So if you see from the containers, we have our veggies at night with our protein, we have our big lunches, and then we have a healthy breakfast, because like I said before, breakfast is the most important part of the day. So if you see, this meal plan is specifically set for meal plan A. As far as the weekends are flexible, okay? We're either traveling on weekends, we have events, or maybe it's more laid back, maybe it's your date nights, movies, whatever. If your weekends, I always say, if you ace your meal plan during the week, on the weekend, splurge a little. We're living the 80-20 lifestyle. We can't expect to stay on point 24/7. So on the weekend, maybe save, we used to call them cheats, but now as a mindset, after we went through 2B Mindset, which is a whole nutritional program, I don't know what that is. It's a whole nutritional program. We found out that instead of saying it's a cheat meal, because once we go into the mindset of cheating, we're going to think, you know what, I just cheated, screw it. I might as well just go the rest of the day. No, we're going to treat ourselves because we did so well during the week that on the weekend, it's the weekend. It's laid back, flexible. Let's treat ourselves. So, have a dinner out and have, that, I don't know, Longhorn, Outback, Texas Roadhouse bread. Have a piece. Maybe Olive Garden breadsticks if that's your thing. We know that's my thing, but have your treat, okay? And make sure you count it. You can count it. You can totally count a Olive Garden breadstick as a carb, or a couple pieces of bread at Longhorn as a carb, And then during your dinner, get a piece of steak with, instead of maybe that baked sweet potato with brown sugar, cinnamon, and butter, even though it's so good, maybe get, a side of broccoli or a side salad or something like that. And maybe if a sweet potato with all that brown sugar, butter, and everything is your thing, skip the bread. We want to have balance. So we want to make sure that whatever we're doing, we're going to have balance and we're going to be able to count it. So those are tons of options. We want to keep it, like I said, simple and consistent. So this is, like I said, meal plan A. If you have, meal plan B, C, or D, there's how you add it. I also do the shopping list, which is really simple. If you know that you're going to have a cup of spinach every day, 1 or 2 bags of spinach and throw it in your freezer. Perfect. I throw mine in the freezer. I actually just started doing this about a month ago. It keeps it frozen. It helps to add to my shake. It doesn't wilt. It doesn't go bad. It's just in there, and I can pull it out. You can measure it and put it in baggies and pull baggie out and dump it in your shake. The same with fruit. If you really need to make it simple, grab a frozen fruit. Grab a whole bag of frozen whatever fruit you like and throw it in your freezer, measure it out, put it in baggies, and then you can just plop it in your shake. You can actually make a smoothie bag and have your spinach and your frozen banana or strawberries or whatever in that bag and just be able to plop it in your shake in the morning or in the afternoon, whatever time you have your shake. And it's really simple, quick, and easy. So, I don't think I was going to share anything else with you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen and answer any questions that you may have. So go for questions. I want to hear them. Any questions? I think I want to show you, Kim, real quick, the meal plan hub. Because you didn't get to see that.
I missed it. I'm sorry I was late.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry for rescheduling.
Yeah. I'm just kidding.
No, I am. I really didn't want to, but I felt bad for not. I didn't want to kick my company out and then try to rush my daughter to bed. It was just not working out. So I was like,
it worked out better with being Halloween anyway, so we didn't get home until a little bit later. So.
I know. I don't know why. I was like, don't do it for Halloween. You're not going to be able to do it. Just don't do it. And then I was like, well, maybe. Everybody goes to bed. All these kids go to bed, so maybe. No. Okay, so here's the meal plan hub.
Okay.
It has literally, this is what my coach has created. My my first ever coach. This is what she's created, and we just add stuff in all the time. Just keep adding and adding. There's actually a tab right here for your recipe find. So if you find any, you can add them in yourself. There's prep video tutorials. There's Shakeology. There's tips and tricks. Like there's meal planning. There's even a challenger's guide to meal planning. There's tips for dining out, lunch ideas, all kinds of stuff in here. And this is just like a hub. This is everything you need for, there's different programs, because each program has a different nutrition guide. So you can go in here and find out your nutrition guide for that program and all the resources. Like if you have 21 Day Fix, we'll go into that, because that's a common one. But you just have like meal planners, you have the portion fixes, because 21 Day Fix is mainly based off the portion, and just meal planners and the container list and everything like that, cheats for the containers, just all kinds of resources for you to be able to use. So I just wanted to show you that, and you can go in here. I'm going to post this with our call and everything, the recording, to our page, so we all have it. And it'll be there for you to use.
Awesome.
So, no questions?
I have a question.
What?
So I travel a ton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, lately, and I don't foresee it getting any easier. Like, do you have any, like, just tips about, like, how do I manage? Is it just more just about planning? Like, is it going to be about?
I would say, like, how do you eat when you're out? Do you?
So here's the thing, depending on where I'm at, and this is going to sound horrible, and you're probably going to be like, you can't do that. But like, there's days I don't stop for lunch. Do you know what I mean? Like I have a breakfast like on the fly right before I go into a customer site, and I might not eat again until 6 or 7 o'clock at night. It's a horrible, horrible practice. But
so
sometimes
do you have time for breakfast? Do you have a little bit of time?
I always try to make sure that I make time for breakfast, like, because if I can't go the entire day without eating anything, I'll like,
so maybe your lunches should be a little bit more simple, like maybe a shake with, stuff in it, and then maybe like kind of snacking food, but kind of lunch food, like hard-boiled eggs. That's a great thing you can take to go. Carrots, little packs of hummus. I don't know what you all like. We can actually sit down if you want. I do one-on-one calls with people that we can sit down and figure out a meal plan, like in your case, in your situation when you travel, and it has to be really strict and like scheduled. We can definitely do that, because
almost like just like switching around, like switching up almost like my breakfast lunch. So that breakfast might be a little, because that gap between breakfast and lunch for me may be a little bit bigger than, my lunch dinner, I'm eating a lunch at 3:30 and then I'm home for dinner by, 6 or whatever. So
then, I would definitely switch up your lunch and your breakfast.
Okay,
sure.
cool.
Yep.
Easy enough.
Yeah. And then like I said, we can, if I have free time over the weekend, we can sit down and actually plan something. Because you said you were, pretty relaxed this weekend. So
yeah, go figure, right?
So yeah, we can definitely sit down and figure your meal plan out for you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, once I get a chance to I'm stuck at a hotel tonight, so I'm going to spend some time just kind of going through some of this stuff and trying to at least get started to plan, so it makes it a little bit easier next week.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect.
Awesome.
We have until Monday. Monday's the big day. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hopping on. Thanks for being flexible with me.
Thanks for doing this. This is awesome.
Of course. Yeah, well, I hope everybody had a happy Halloween. And all the kids got lots of candy. I know
we did. Too much candy in my house, that's for sure.
Yeah, right. I didn't get as much trick-or-treaters, so I got tons left over. Yeah. Horrible. But we got this. So thanks, Kim. Thanks for hopping on.
All right, awesome.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right, thanks, sweetie.
Bye.
Bye.